All right. This is Real Talk with Malcolm and Aaron. Alex will be back, and apparently he's going to be bringing a guest. So,
Right on.
but until that happens, it's Malcolm and Aaron. So,
Right on.
I'd
Good
like to
morning,
talk
Malcolm.
to you
How are you today?
about. I'm good. I'm good. I can't complain.
Awesome.
The sun is kind of quasi shining. I mean, you're up in you're north of me, so it's kind of probably a little sunnier there than it is here.
I hope so. I hope it's going to be a little bit nicer today too.
Yeah.
It's like the first full day of fall today, is it not?
Yeah, the 23rd was the official changeover. So yeah, you bet you this is day one of fall. It's not too
Right.
cold though. It's actually quite nice. I
Hmm.
mean, it's 11 and cloudy, but yesterday was, I want to say it was 20 and smoky. Something was on fire. I don't know what it was, but it
Oh,
happened.
okay.
Yeah, because
Hmm.
like I went to basketball early in the morning yesterday, and one part of Calgary was just beautiful and sunny. And I came to where I live, which is kind of like in a valley, and it was smoky, it was foggy, and it dropped at least 7 degrees between the two places, which was ridiculous. And then the rest
Yeah,
of the
that's the
day
one. That
was
is one thing I'm noticing being out in this area, that the weather and stuff, it's very similar to what I remember being San Francisco being like.
yeah.
The temperature change, and like it could be 30 degrees here in the daytime and at night it's almost zero. So
Oh
it's
yeah. The
yeah,
mountains
it's very,
make it
very nice
wicked.
here.
Yeah.
One thing that's very nice in Canada is that we do have the four distinct seasons, which gives us a very, very good growing season. So,
Absolutely.
as we're coming up to Thanksgiving, Canadian Thanksgiving, this is a good time. I love the fall. I think the fall is just the most beautiful time in Canada. The trees are changing, that
Yeah.
sunshine is nice and warm. Usually there's not a lot of insects around to bother us.
Thank goodness. Oh my God. There was a wasp epidemic, it felt like, all and everywhere. Like here in Calgary, out in Winnipeg, when we went and visited, too many wasps. I'm so happy that they're like hibernating right now.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, I've got stung quite a few times this year actually.
yeah, it's nuts.
And
And then
if you
wasps.
don't, if, and I found that a lot of people that I know were starting to get even worse. They were reacting very badly to these wasps and bee bites all year. So people that were never ever allergic before, I don't know enough about uh, why this would be happening, but people are literally getting stung, and it's awful. And I'll send you some pictures of some of my clients or patients or friends that um, and I thought, holy man, I never ever remember that before. And these people need to make sure that if a wasp stings you anywhere up here, close off your
Oh, right.
way of
Either
breathing.
that or you better
Yeah.
have like that EpiPen, that rescue.
Hmm.
I mean,
Hmm.
because it can be just so, what's the word? Yeah, it can be critical, right?
But bees are also like we need them also for our pollination, right?
Is true, but I don't think bees really sting unless, provoked, right? Whereas like the wasps, I'm
That
not
just
really
come.
sure their function, because are they pollinators? Actually, I can look that up 1 second. Let me see. I don't think wasps are pollinators. I think they're just nuisances, kind of like a mosquito. Like they
Yeah.
feed other things down the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
chimney, but they're not very
Well,
useful in the grand scheme of things.
I know mosquitoes are just an absolute horrid thing. Malaria isn't really talked about in North America.
Mhm.
Not that I'm aware of, it's not super talked about, malaria,
No,
but
it's
around
really
the world,
elsewhere.
I'm pretty sure there's about 2 million, I think I looked last time,
Mhm.
people around the world that actually die of malaria every year. And when I was in Africa, I got all the symptoms of malaria and it took me actually to the hospital. I was so, so, so sick. And yeah, it's an absolute awful thing. And then when they said to me, "Did you not come protected against malaria?" And I'm like, well, I went to all of the clinics that ahead of time to be able to go to Ghana, Africa. I got the yellow fever vaccine. I had the COVID-19 shots. Nobody said anything to me about malaria.
No
And
way, really.
because I was going for business,
Hmm.
I was going for business. So if I was going for pleasure, usually I'll have done some research on oh, God bless you.
Sorry.
I would have done some research, of where I was going and what
Yeah.
might be there, right? But because I was going for business, that was an oversight of mine. So I went, they call me Bruni there, Brony. That's what the word is for white person, white. And so they're like, Bruni, never come protected against any of these.
Oh, rough. I'm surprised though. Those clinics
I'm
are
getting so many calls on
designed
anymore.
to help out, right? And like every travel clinic I've ever gone to, like when I went to Costa Rica with my wife and everything. Yeah, they vaccinated us against malaria and everything.
Yeah, I'm wondering, like, I would like to almost go back into the time and figure it out because I'm wondering if because there was so much hype and so much rules and regulations around the two vaccines you needed to be able to, that paperwork you needed to supply to be able to get on a plane, go to another country, eat, all those things. I'm wondering if possibly is was kind of like an oversight because the focus was so much on this
COVID.
COVID-19 that was, absolute like apparently whatever it was. So I'm wondering if maybe the malaria vaccine was an oversight because I did do all the things I was to do, and then I got there and got quite sick and then learned that this is a big problem, mosquitoes all around the world and malaria
Yeah,
and some of the conditions and living conditions I see people living in. uh, you can't get away from the mosquitoes,
yeah,
and that's like rain season. Like when we talk here about our four seasons, in other parts of the world it's rainy season and dry season,
yeah. And
windy,
rainy season must
so
foster a
those
lot of
mosquitoes are
mosquitoes.
causing quite a bit of havoc all around the world. We also have some disease that has come here over the years. West Nile is one example.
Yeah.
And that has actually, really, well, if you've ever had West Nile, you'll know.
Yeah, no, I've never had the displeasure of having such a thing, which
Right.
I'm very fortunate for. Knock
So
on
these
wood.
insects hold a lot of disease
Yeah.
that,
Well, they can transmit it really
they
quickly.
transmit it, which is just seems so crazy.
Yeah. Oh, and just to answer our question, I did look up if a wasp is a pollinator, and you know what? You are absolutely correct. They are pollinators, so they are. I guess I'm just not sure why they're so aggressive then, or maybe it's something that we've done over time. Who have
Yeah.
like
Well,
they?
for some reason, I thought we were in trouble because we were almost on an extinct, on like they were almost getting extinct. Like
Oh, you
there
mean the
was a
bees?
shortage of some time. But,
Yeah.
honestly, like the ecosystem, like we're all screwed up, okay? Like the people have been talking about global warming and pollution and all these
The
kinds of things
80s, the
forever and
90s,
ever. So,
70s. Yeah.
us as human beings, if you want to drink clean, pure water, you're likely going to go gather it from somewhere. If you're washing, you're getting it from a treatment plant of some sort coming out of your tap. Your
Mhm.
sanitation is being flushed down the toilet with public works and everything else, whatever they do to ensure that cross contamination and all these sorts of things keep us, you know, decent salvation.
Yeah.
Our animals, remember, they're living outside, they're drinking all of this contaminated water, they're all our crops and our lands are being sprayed with some of the most dangerous chemicals
Yeah.
over tons of years.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't surprise me that we have all of these problems. By the time we're talking about our big, huge polar bears not being able to survive,
It's
and
the
we're talking
deers
about
and the moose
these,
and
and we're not even 100% sure, but there's so many people that do know these things. And
mhm.
I would encourage people to listen to the people that know. And if we can do anything good, we can protect our lands here.
Yeah. Uh,
I walk around and I see a lot of garbage because we're consumers of garbage, right? I mean, but it's laying all over the place. And just imagine if I was sitting here and I had garbage all around me, I would start feeling gross and I would feel cluttered and I'd want to just stand up and walk away.
so
So when we're have our children playing in playgrounds and there's garbage and they're touching it and they're putting it in their mouth and all that stuff, that's how we get sick.
yeah,
That's one of the reasons we get sick.
of course. Yeah.
So ever since I became a scuba diver and I started getting my tickets on just the importance of the environment, and if we think things are bad above water, If you get a chance to
Totally.
look underwater, it's disgusting because no one's even watching what's going on underneath there, really.
Yeah.
Kind of, right?
I
But
know people are doing the initiatives to clean the beaches, but nobody goes in deep to like
well,
clean the basins, right? The
right. But if we can clean up the
course.
beaches, less water will go into the water. If we can clean up the grass here, less water, because it all flows to the waters, right?
Absolutely.
So and they've been changing the water systems. I spoke about this lots this summer. The water shortages in some, and I was just so shocked to know or to hear that politics play such a big role in the natural flow of water.
It's not, that's completely true because I mean, from if you even think of it from a standpoint of even energy creation through water, we impact water in all sorts of different ways. Like, for example, in Manitoba, we build dikes like crazy to generate energy, not just for Manitobans, but for Northern Ontario, for some southern states like Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, and so forth, to generate and sell them that energy. And all those dikes or dams or whatever you want to call it that for power generation, that's a great thing. But I mean, it has a cause and effect of what are you doing to the animals, the fish life,
Mhm.
thing that depends on that water. And then
Exactly.
going back to the contaminants in the water, I mean, yes, taking what is it called? Taking the pill for a woman. Anytime anybody goes to the bathroom, that water is, of course, it's going to a treatment plant, but they were saying things like that mess with our hormones, like humans' hormones, like or regulate our hormones, are going into the water. The animals are eating it, and then we're eating that, so that is causing issues down the line too. So we
Yeah, it's
have to
hard to
be
believe
better.
that we have been poisoned. We're being poisoned in so many ways,
We're
and
poisoning
that's
ourselves, even though
yeah, we're poisoning ourselves. But I mean, even if you watch the crop duster planes over top with the chemicals going over the food, um, I know there's lots of different and a lot of the farmers will say why they have to use this stuff or why they always have or what's happening. I
it's
know
about
myself,
health,
I
right?
just know myself that I got deadly ill
Mhm.
2 or 3 years ago from the Assiniboine River. I went into the water. I had a little bird bath right along the riverbank where there is community farmers, rich farmers, poor farmers, big industry coming right down from wherever. And to think that I was burnt 90% of my body to the
Burnt.
point of, yeah, I was burnt. And it's impossible to be burnt in water unless it's by chemical or toxins. So
Yeah, that's
I
crazy.
almost, and so the quality of my life now I'm better now. I mean, I will never be the same, of course. I was desecration. I'll share some pictures so we can add them to this because I did put a call to action on all the authorities. And it
Right.
was very funny because who's in charge of the water? Well, I know myself. It's a big guy. He created everything, okay? He created
Yeah.
the land, he created the water, he created whatever, right?
Hmm.
But when you go to talk to, the people that are, you go and tell that you're representative of the government, that provincial government, the RMs, the cities, the people that are drinking that water, look at what happened.
Right.
What's in this water? Because the thing is if we would have been able to determine what was in that water or what we were dealing with, I would have maybe been able to be treated a lot faster. But this is like 2 or 3 years later, and they haven't even responded. At one
Oh,
time, they said it wasn't the provincial government, it was the federal government. And I'm like, okay, so it's not the Manitoba flag, it's the Canada flag.
yeah.
So we sent it off to the people that sit in Ottawa too. And, it's very generous to share just how disgusting my body was because I
That's
like, but it's past, but I today I still like I have to do like so much exercises. We're still, so my cost of my healthcare,
Right.
extra costs that I was not thinking that I would ever have to be able to overcome something like this was absolutely horrific. So if anyone, when you are spraying things and you're careless with your chemicals that you have, just think that, literally you can and will burn somebody else down the line.
Yeah.
And we should and shall be looking after our lands better and properly.
Mhm.
I used to pick up a bag of garbage every day, just because on my travels I can do that.
You know,
But it
you,
got to the point where the garbages were so disgusting, the needles on the ground and these kinds of things, there's no salvation. So people are peeing and pooping on the ground. But this is where our children go to the park, guys.
yeah. Oh
This
yeah.
is where we go and play. So I'm still doing it despite I just put on some gloves and wash my hands, right?
Mhm.
So, if we can do, human beings will always be human beings. We'll always have our own
Considering.
opinions, our own passions, our own thought system. But I know myself, I don't like living in garbage of people around me that are just, and I certainly
Toxic.
don't like it around me. And our land here is absolutely beautiful. And when we speak about truth and reconciliation, coming up next week, there is no
Yes,
amount
that's
of
the
money
thing.
that there is no amount of money everybody knows that someone could, and I'll say it back to myself, when I was detained by the Manitoba government for starting Miller Strong 17 Foundation, they not only took me away from my family, they took me away from I'm the only one that can do the business. And what, to go sit in a mental institution until someone can let me out?
That,
And today we were supposed to be speaking on mental health, and
yeah.
these are the kinds of things that over the last couple years I've been fighting for. There's not enough help for people that need help, whether it's physical, emotionally, mentally,
Right.
addicted, burnt, don't have a family. When we need help, we need help. And I wish that people, you can survive mental health. I suffered myself before and I will always suffer. It
Yeah.
will always be something. Okay. Post traumatic stress, those things don't go away, but you
No,
learn to live with them and you
absolutely.
learn to deal with them. And someone like myself that has lots of tools that work for me, oftentimes they'll work for someone else. I write about it in my book a lot.
Right.
Um, Anxiety. I think people should take some time for themselves. Smile. If
Yeah.
you need a buddy system, are things like AA and all scuba diving, all those things have a buddy system.
Yeah. Checking in
So
on each other, right? So,
checking in on each
um,
other, being available if a friend, like being a good friend, right?
mhm.
I mean, I'm single, independent, so I have to count on my friends. My
Right.
family doesn't. I don't. My family doesn't want to hear about some of my, And like I said in my last episode, I never used to cry before, and now I'm a crybaby. So I was crybaby. So,
Right.
joy is always, something that we're all looking for. Maybe you're in a bad spot today because maybe something happened to you that someone else did,
Right.
right? Maybe
Absolutely.
you did it, but when we know better, we can do better. And getting rid of garbage people in your life will serve your mental health
Absolutely.
very, very well.
Yeah.
Unless people are telling you how awesome you are and how great you are,
Yep.
don't have them in your life anymore.
That's
Your
it.
life will be way better. Trust me. Trust me. I've had to walk away from people that I really, really care about, but they were like calling me names and being mean to me. And I was
Right.
like,
They
and
weren't
I was like,
reciprocating, right? They weren't,
well,
they
and I
weren't,
get that that might be their opinion of me, but that's certainly not the opinion of myself. So your opinion of yourself should be say 5 words,
right.
right? Whatever you are. Like, I'm powerful. I'm a professional. I'm never alone. I got this. And, I got a friend, you know?
There
And
you
if
go.
you,
Five
and if you can,
affirming state.
and if you are having a hard time figuring out that for yourself, because often I can't even remember what some of my best skills are. I phone 5 of my friends, or I'll text them and say, hey, can you do me a favor and let me know 5 qualities of why you, me and you were friends? Why we
Right.
do business together, right?
Mhm.
And just 5 words. So now I'll have 25 words and I'll have those down. And that's what I'll start believing in.
That's, hey,
It works, trust me.
oh,
Follow
I
me. It
believe it.
works. It works. It
I
works. It works.
believe it.
It works because if I was saying 5 words about you today, Malcolm, and to all my viewers, Malcolm is a friend of a friend. I have not even seen him yet in real life, but I can't wait to meet him. He's a business owner himself, a dog dad,
Yeah,
married man, comes from Winnipeg, Manitoba, right?
that's right. Hale, born and raised in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Transcona specifically. So, I mean, hey,
So a lot of people, we do have a power of connection. So many new people in our lives.
yeah.
We don't know anything about each other until we get to know them. So a lot of the people that listened to my last episode were asking, "Who's Malcolm?"
That's all right.
And just there's a lot of wisdom in a lot of the things that me myself have done before. And I know, I wouldn't be the person I am today if it wasn't for me having faith in a higher power and then having faith in the people that are around me. So, if you are struggling with mental health today or any day, honestly, write down 5 things that you know about yourself or things that you want to change and just live that way. Step into it. Be you.
There you go.
Be your happy you. Because smiles are free, hugs are free. Uh, going out for a walk if you can, watching joy, being involved in joy, creating joy,
Absolutely.
all free,
It's
man.
all free.
All
Yeah,
free.
unfortunately, I don't think it's always as simple as somebody getting picked on or getting called names though too, because mental health is kind of like
Oh,
good
hi, Alex. Good morning to you.
morning. Good
I was
morning,
actually
all.
just going to log off here. You're just getting on. Hello. Good morning.
Just kidding. Didn't we start at 11?
No?
No,
It's 10 your time, 11 my time.
10 your time.
No,
It's,
11 my time, 10 your time.
Okay. Well, good morning,
Right?
Alex. How are
Good
you?
morning, all. Yeah, because aren't
Happy
you guys like
Sunday
an
to
hour
you.
behind?
yeah, we're always an hour behind. So not it starts at 9
Oh
Alberta.
no, I thought we always started at 10 and 11. But anyways,
No, remember I changed it. So my bad, buddy.
okay, no, I didn't realize
And
we changed it. All
because
good.
it changed from 2 weeks ago. Remember when you were on with
I
my
clearly don't remember.
you know, oh no, no worries, no worries. It happens, it happens.
Well, happy Sunday to you, Alex.
This episode to y'all.
Hey, we were
Yeah,
saying that you were going to be back, and we didn't think you were going to be back so quick. Hi.
There you go.
Nice to see
I
you.
know. That's you guys too. Yeah, I don't think because I told Clem 11, but I
Uh,
can't get a hold of him anyways.
oh, fair enough.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and your audio is a little bit muffled, my friend. I am not sure why. Your headset's usually so clear.
Hmm. Hold on.
Might be able to change that up. I like what you said there, Aaron. That makes a ton of sense. And you know what, making those 5 like positive statements can be very uplifting. Absolutely, absolutely, and especially it actually kind of ties into something that I heard from actually Dion Sanders of all people, because he's going on a run right now with his new school called the University of Colorado. It's in Boulder, Colorado. They've not had a really good run for him. And then, but Dion Sanders has always been in the public eye. And he made a statement very, very similar to what you stated. He said something to the effect of, you know, you didn't make me, so you cannot break me. You cannot, he he basically said in layman's terms, he doesn't care what other people think of him. Whatever the people think of him is whatever they think of. He has positive affirmation for himself. He believes in himself. He believes in what he's done. He's always been a winner. in his mind. So then he does not need, the media to prop him up. He props himself up. So, by telling yourself 5 affirming things or leaning on the people that you care about that know good things about you
Mhm.
and leaning on that,
Well, and
it
especially
totally
when
ties.
we're, drowning in some stress, just the regular everyday stress, whether it's work, family, what have you. We all have special people that aren't part of that drowning of us. So, they lift us up, So, you're a good dancer, you're this, and then even the very first thing someone says, it makes me smile anyways, because I've been down in the dumps a lot of times, and so I get it. And some days, even now, today, I'm not waking up quite right, and I'm recognizing that. So I'm having to go back on some of the things that I've done in the past to get me to where I was before. So every day's a new day. So I believe in people.
There you go. I feel you. How's that
Mhm.
audio, Alex?
Is it any better now, or
Still a little muffled, but
is
hey,
it?
we can roll with that. It's clearer than it was moments ago. So when you guys do tune into the thing, you'll hear what I hear, and then you'll be like, "Oh, okay." Maybe we might have to get you a mic. We'll get Aaron a mic too.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Well,
No, still not working.
I'm not sure that helps it anymore.
Oh,
But anyways,
that was a little bit different though.
yeah. Anyways, regarding that whole mental health thing too, though, it's interesting that it's not just like a North American thing or just a Asian thing. It is everywhere, but it seems to be in some parts of the world more than others. And here's where actually that documentary yesterday was really interesting because it kind of led to how diets can actually affect your mental health too.
Oh, diets. Yeah, I got
Absolutely.
you. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Well, what we feed our brain too, right? Because it's my understanding, our brain is such a powerful, and it just is such a small part. So whatever we feed our brain, right, will also, help us along our mental clarity.
absolutely. And if you're like vitamin deficient or um, there's some sort of nutritional value that you're missing and things like that, you're not feeding the brain quite the way it needs to be, or you're not getting enough, like, for example, even breathing. Um, Oxygen is like critical for your brain, right? So, all these
Mhm.
things can play that factor into your own mental health. Um, it's it's quite impressive, actually, that all the things. So you're saying like the nutrition, what did they say in the, and what show was it that you were checking out? That
Uh, actually, it was how to live to 100 or past 100, I think it was called, but it's known as a blue zone. And the blue zone is just basically areas with more centurions, it's called, than anywhere else. And basically centurions are people that live to 100 or more, right?
okay.
And so they kind of looked at a lot of these places in terms of their health and their daily routines and stuff like that. And a lot of them was just walking and a lot of greens and very little meats. But they also had lower dementia ratios and just a lot of lower health problems overall,
Hmm.
including mental disease.
Gotcha. So where were they? Like
There's there's 5 spots. One of the main places was in Greece.
in Greece.
Yeah.
Greece, like people from Greece have like a high uh
Not all of Greece. There's a part of Greece. Hold on, I think uh,
that is wild. I would have never thought that. I would have thought for sure you would have been saying something like the interior of Asia. So say like Mongolia, or well, actually I think Mongolia is but you know what I mean, like down
yeah,
like the Himalayas or something like that, right?
yeah. So countries considered to be in the blue zone is Okinawa, Japan.
Oh, I've been to Okinawa.
Yeah.
That's a
Sard
beautiful place, man.
Sardinia, Italy. Icaria, Greece. Nicoya, Costa Rica, and Loma Linda in California. And
Hey,
actually
Callie.
from yeah, because actually from some of these studies, they've actually started trying to implement some of their findings in like urban centers,
Hmm.
see how it works like in I can't remember if it was Milwaukee or Minnesota or where, but they've been trying like in urban centers to try to implement some of these things to see if it makes a changes in people's life expectancy, and it seems to be working.
That is wild.
Yeah.
Wow. You know, speaking of mental health and life expectancy, for example, like I had a good friend of mine, Calvin. His parents, um, they're at an elevated age. They would have been, I want to say they're in their 80s or 90s or something like that. But anyways, when his dad just stopped walking, his mental clarity and mental health just took a nosedive. And it's almost
Wow.
that routine and just like him being in
No,
his
for
own
sure.
space and walking and
Yeah.
doing things. Like
Yeah.
go on
And
crazy
that's what they said
walks,
because like this one place was a lot of steep hills. And
right?
so you're always walking up steep hills without even realizing it. So your body's always, and all these people running around, they're like 100 years old, but they're, walking up 3 flights of stairs back and forth daily without even really realizing it.
So they're more active. They're active.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
They're
And
more
that's
active, keep
another key
moving.
part. Yeah.
Well, I think too, what I see here that a lot of people don't have as much mobility, or some people don't have as much mobility. We have a lot of people, loss of limbs, wheelchair, what have you, living in those kinds of things. So it is a little bit harder when you are, when your mobility is taken away to get that mental clarity to get out. So I really admire the people that it's a little bit trickier and harder for them to, maneuver when you're with crutches, broken leg, what have you, to still get out there because I 100% agree. If I don't do the things that I need to do every day, I'm definitely going backwards.
Yeah,
No, but there's a lot of people in North America without the crutches or broken legs.
yeah. But
You know what I
they
Yeah,
claim
but mobility, I'm
so.
just saying mobility, when you're sick, when you get
mean?
physically sick,
Hmm.
Yeah,
that emotion or your mental clarity does start kind of deteriorating. At least in my own situation, my mental part of it when I couldn't get out and do the things that, made me feel alive, uh, made me feel sick, and it got to be terrible for me at one time. So that's why I just, that all those things that you can do to improve your clarity, your thoughts, your focus, your all those sorts of things. I know I see lots of people, being active, and I think the people that are the most active seem to be the ones that seem to be more well-grounded.
I agree. Like, I mean, you get that release, right? I mean, I think it's even endorphins that kind of are
Oh
released.
yeah. Well, you definitely get that from lots of things.
Yeah,
Sex.
yeah,
Sex is one of the biggest, best things that you can do for yourself.
there you go.
No, seriously, the stuff that, the oomph that it can give you, the excitement. And if, yeah, I mean, things like that are important. Hugging somebody, sleeping with somebody, any of that kind of stuff, right? Holding hands, all those things will, whatever brings you, that comfort and that excitement, right?
That joy.
But yeah, so
That's it. That's interesting, actually. You went right to sex, though. That was pretty funny.
well, I don't know. I mean, I can't speak on behalf of the man, but I'm speaking on behalf of
The, the
myself.
the 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 irony of all that is it's those same things that could bring the mental stress.
Maybe, possibly, sometimes.
What, sex? Is that
Maybe
what you're saying?
anxiety of having or anticipation of sex kind of thing. The anxiety.
Oh, having a partner, you mean? Like having a partner? Well,
Yeah.
there is compromise to having a partner for sure. But hope, I mean, isn't like, I mean, that's just the way it is, right? So there's I think I think if you're lucky enough to have companionship and have things that make you go more than
Make you go.
you're very, very fortunate and very lucky because those are things that, they're feelings, right? They're feelings that are put into you and they're exciting and they will get your adrenaline and endorphins running right through all those veins. Dancing, Dancing is another one.
Making money.
There you
Making
go.
money,
Yeah, absolutely.
making money and making a lot of it and making a lot of it. So, you don't have that worry of how you're going to, because that is a big worry for people. Of course, it's a worry for me. It always has been. Even today it is.
Yeah,
So trying to get rid of that fear. So making more money, just having like a peace, like that, like the peace,
absolutely. I get you.
eating good food, having people to eat good food with. I know myself because I'm by myself often, or I was, and sometimes I forget to even eat. Because if I have no one to like cook for, or no one that is like saying I'm hungry, we should eat, I kind of like neglect that on myself. I know it sounds so crazy, but it's just what has happened.
It happens because, like, I mean, sometimes, if you're not looking after somebody else, I could literally go a whole entire day without eating. Um, because maybe you're just laser focused on the task that you have at hand. It's not
That's
good.
what I'm saying. Yeah. So it's been very, very glorious for me to have partners in my life that remind me that you got to like take a break and it's okay to do this, because I've been a go-getter, just out of survival, I think, for since I became a mother so many years ago. So I get the hustle, but I also can appreciate now, that we do need to have good balance in every single thing we're doing. Good rest, good food, music, life. If you can even have some life, feel like you have some life put into you even once a day, start with that if you're in a place that is pretty crappy today.
That's fair. That's fair.
Well, it's a Sunday morning. There is lots of crappy things that happen to people on Sunday mornings. They're trying to get ready for maybe last night didn't go so well. They find out something that they thought was supposed to happen, didn't happen. So Sunday's a good day to recharge, regroup, get ready for this week, and do the best you can. But
So
don't just think about it, actually do it.
yeah,
Like actually do it. Do it. Do
just
it.
get out of there and do it.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I have a question for you, Mr. Alex. So, Clem, tell us about Clem, because I mean, the next time we convene next Sunday, kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
um, Clem can join and then tell give us give us like a little nugget. How do you know Clem? What why does Clem know a lot about mental health and so forth?
Yeah, no, it's just the field he's been in for, 30 something years. And I think more importantly, he's just really good with people. And so you know, um, for the field he's in and for the client base that he works with, most of them respect him as a friend, which is, I guess, a huge step in terms of gaining people's trust and being, for them to be able to open up to somebody. But yeah, no, he seems to just have that knack um, with people, which also helps in terms of his specialty, which is helping people with mental health.
Also,
Yeah, trust is a big thing.
is he like a psychologist or is he just a counselor? What's Clem do?
Like, is he, I know he went to Red River, like, so he would have got and he works as a child and family services worker as well as a mental health.
That's
Um,
huge.
yeah, but he wants to branch out primarily into mental health, just primarily. Like, he wants that to be his main focus, just based
Yeah, well,
on,
with him working in those kinds of industries, he will see the importance of our well-being, right? For 30 years of being a friend to people that are, in that field. Love to hear what he has to say.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you known him 30 years. Like where did you guys meet?
no, I haven't known him 30 years. I just met him like last week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. It feels like I've known him for 30 years though.
Yeah. Awesome. So where is he now?
He's in Winnipeg.
Oh, okay. Just didn't
Yeah.
log in today, this morning.
Yeah, no.
Oh, okay.
Time difference, but not to worry. It will always be 9
Next time.
Mountain, 10 10 Central. kind of thing. So then we're all on the same page and everything like that. So my fault, guys. Sorry about that. I thought
I just saw on the calendar that the time had changed when you sent it out. It said 9 o'clock a.m. That's how I knew it changed on the calendar that you sent out.
but it was like since like not last week, but the week before, right? Because like it was one of those things. I was like, oh, can we do? And maybe what happened is it's because I might have made it seem like it was temporary. So I apologize. If this doesn't work, we can.
So we are logging in at 9 o'clock a.m. Sunday mornings.
You got
10 o'clock Winnipeg time.
Yeah. And then we can groove a loop and get her sorted. But yeah, we'll talk more about like mental health. What else should we talk about next week? Like, I mean, mental health is a big thing. Maybe it should have its own episode and multiple episodes. I mean, we can always revisit it and everything like that, because I mean, mental health has been such a prevalent issue, especially since COVID, right? So, and I mean, we've all gone through it. I mean, the whole world went through it. So I definitely believe, if you guys agree, it should be, multiple episodes. Maybe not in succession, but starting next week kind of thing, do that and keep on going.
Sounds good to me. I'm game for whatever, as long as I know
right on.
when to be where. I'm good.
Yeah, it'll be 9:10 Central. We got this.
Awesome.
Cool.
What say you, Alex?
No, that works.
All right, my man. All right. I love it. So yet again, another successful real talk. Yeah. Do you guys have any parting words for the guest? Or maybe guest?
Keep it real.
Keep it real.
Real?
Love it. I love it.
And watch what you eat. And watch what you eat.
Watch what you eat. Keep it real.
There you go. And keep
Amen. I agree.
Right.
I agree. Watch what you eat. Fill yourself with joy. When we know better, we can do better. Love each other. And be grateful. Be grateful and do things for yourself. Do things for yourself, because there's a reason on the airplane they say you're supposed to like cover your own mouth first before you do for your child. It's like the same type of scenario, and wish everyone a very, very good day today and a good week. And it's nice seeing you guys today.
Yeah, it was lovely seeing you.
That's
And
good,
you know
guys.
what? I'll have to help you set up your background.
Oh yeah, I know, because you can see my clothes there.
It's not. I don't care about the clothes.
No, I just I can't sit in one spot on the floor for too long anymore. So
that's fair. No worries.
Okay.
We'll get you set.
Big wish to you guys.
All right, guys.
All right.
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
Take care.
Yeah.
Take care. Later. Right. Amen. Cheers, brother.
Cheers, man.